Welcome to another in our one-on-one series, where we feature individuals who have served in the public sphere and have made an impact nationally. I'm Joel Crosskill. My guest today is award-winning educator Dr. Fritz Pinnock. Thank you so much for joining us. A real pleasure having you here,
Thank you,
sir.
Joel.
All right, tell us a childhood memory from Silo in St. Elizabeth, where you grew up.
Well, quite interesting place. Yes, well, I'm from very humble part of St. Elizabeth, Silo, and near Appleton Estate. My parents had a business, and my father had a trucking company, so he served the Appleton Sugar Estate. So that was where I grew up. Quite interesting. Very fond childhood memories. Did not like school at all. Ran away from 2 schools.
Oh, really?
I hope my students don't listen. So, but that's part of growing up, because as a child I found school quite boring. And interestingly today, this is what has really driven a lot of my approach, which is really out of the box.
Yeah.
Because I believe, especially how we're presenting to boys, is a wrong way. You know? And one of my greatest memories was I went back from summer holidays, and I was asked to write this essay about, and I hate writing essays. I would love math. So the teacher asked to write about your summer holiday, and you had to go week by week. So the first week it was a very nice day, and I went to the beach, went on a rock, fell off the rock, and I died. So that was the end of it. So I got a big fat 0.
Homework complete.
Homework complete, and I thought this was unfair, because if I died, how could I continue the story?
You found a loophole.
Yeah, I found a loophole. But it was exciting growing up around the sugar estate. You know, had lots of space to, you know, to roam and, you know, to go to the river, to do things. You know, so it was great. Had great friends. It was nice growing up in the country.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, your father was in the dental field as well as being a businessman. Can you remember any sayings that your parents had during your youth that stuck with you?
Yes, and one thing my father always tell me is that excuse is not a strategy. So, and I still use that today, and it is so true. Because many times we are afraid to challenge new things, and we come up with an excuse, because the path of least resistance sometimes seems like the path to go, but it's not. And he said success and failure are on the same road. And you have to go, success has its doors through failure.
Interesting.
So,
very interesting. That's profound.
yes.
And you took that on board?
Very much so. So I was never failed to fail. And in fact, I failed so much.
You wouldn't know it from your resume.
No, I'm one of the greatest failures.
All right, you went to Monroe. What does their motto, "A city set on a hill cannot be hid," mean to you today?
Well, wherever you go, you should shine. And it is good to bloom in your own garden. It's always nice to look across the neighbor's garden and, oh, it's nice over there, seems, you know, but wherever you're bloom where you're planted. And this is something. And one thing I learned at Monroe, I had an outstanding headmaster, Mr. Roper. And I can tell you, he came to my wedding, and, you know, I had fond memories of visiting with him even before he died. And I said to him, "You're the reason why I'm in education today."
Wow.
Because he was such a role model. This was a man who did not need to be in a classroom. He had options. He was a graduate of McGill University, a great leader, led by example. I learned so much from this man.
Yes.
And without knowing it, I was following in his footsteps.
You were emulating him.
Yeah, without even knowing it. So, you know, I lift my hat to him.
Profound impact. Yeah. What about the Cadet Corps? You were also a part of that during your time at Monroe.
Most definitely. 7 years in the cadets, and it had a great impact on my life and my thinking and everything, because also Mr. Roper led the cadet unit. So 3/4 of the school were in the cadets, and that led to the discipline.
Yeah.
And in fact, even impact the way I think today and everything. So
amazing. You had to make your own toys. Which one was your favorite?
Which one was my favorite? I enjoy all of them. In fact, using the bearings and making, you know, carts and going downhill. And of course, well, not so pleasant when it crashed and pulled apart. You got those cuts, but that was the exciting part of the journey.
And you made a bike too?
Oh, yes. Oh, that was fantastic. The bike, and it gave you an opportunity to, to test your engineering skills and so on. So it was great. Yeah, nice using the batteries, the lights to get them to work, set up your own brake lights. And, so it was nice to just great things.
And you would have had the freedom to explore your community, your environment.
Yes, and I had great friends, good neighbors, and, we would do lots of things. When I want spare parts, when my father is not around, I pull him off his car. I take a bulb or two out, but that was part of the journey too.
How did that creative process of making your own toys impact you later on in life, that creative aspect?
Of course, because sometimes, and can I answer you with I had a privilege of being on a flight with the president of Yale University. And he was saying to me, I was saying, I have an advantage over you. And he said, what is your advantage? I said, well, by not having all the resources, you have to be resourceful. And this is something that, when you're put in a space, whatever you have, you can use it. There's so much in you. And it's not what is in your hands, it's what is inside of you. The real creativity, the drive, the passion is in you. You can use what in your hands, and you can build a story around it and make it work. And this is something. Whatever you have enough. Use it.
Yeah. I believe you said something along the lines of Jamaica's problem is not resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness.
That is so true.
Yeah.
We have a lot in our hands, sometimes you don't know what you have because you don't use it. And that's the biggest waste. And when we can engage our creativity, that's the biggest side of us. And Jamaica, we have a lot. And I'm saying this in the whole academia sphere, a lot of waste.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do much better by taking a private sector mentality to it.
After you completed sixth form, you were offered 2 scholarships. Tell us about them.
I see you did your research, right? Well, quite interesting. It was back in the 80s, at the time when the socialism, a drive was ripe. I got a scholarship to go to Russia. And I got one to go to, I think it was Georgia State University. Both of them to play football.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, yes, it was football. And well, my mother started crying, he's going to be a communist now. Of course, I found it so exciting to take on a new challenge. But by the time she was finished, I said, no, it would break her heart too much. And I wouldn't get to see her that often. So I ended up staying, I ended up staying. Yeah.
So you were good at football. What position did you play?
I was a goalkeeper for Monroe for many years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you good?
I wouldn't say I was good, but I wasn't bad. Well, we got to Doncaster Cup quarterfinals the year, and I think that year I got called to all Doncaster Cup.
Really?
But I got an injury in the last game, Still suffering from it today.
Really? Where'd you pick it up?
My ankle.
Your ankle?
Yeah.
And you're still suffering from it?
Yeah. These things never leave you. You pay the price later in life,
Yeah. All right, we're one-on-one with noted educator Dr. Fritz Pinnock. Join us on the other side.